Hey guys, so it has been requested of me to do a review of the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I'm sorry it took me so long to get around to doing this. It was requested like a couple weeks ago and it kind of just took me forever to get to it. So I apologize for that, but I'm doing it for you guys now. So I got this foundation when it first came out. I want to say about maybe 2 months ago. I was grocery shopping and it was literally like being taken out of the box and put on the shelf, and I saw it and I was like, oh my god, I really want to try that. So I grabbed it. I grabbed the foundation, the concealer, and the pressed powder, and the pressed powder is in my makeup bag downstairs. It's the one that I keep in my bag all the time to just kind of touch up. So I don't have it up here to show you, but I'll explain it. The whole line, basically the theme of the packaging is like square. So, or I guess this would technically be a rectangle, but that's a square, right? So yeah, it's square. So it's in a square compact, and it's not in a square pan though. It's in like a circular pan inside. And you know, the top layer is the powder, the bottom layer you flip it is the mirror. It's pretty typical packaging for pressed powders nowadays. So yeah, it's nothing too crazy, nothing too unique. So I've had a while to try out the foundation. I probably have about half the bottle left. Which is unusual because I got it 2 months ago. So obviously that's your first clue that it's not like and this is not the repurchase, this is the original bottle. So you can tell it's not my like main foundation. Yeah. So I wear it in 310, which is sun beige, and some of the the things that are supposed to be like the draw to this line was supposed to kind of, you know, draw you in or whatever. Is the color range, the shade range. There are a bunch of different colors. I don't know how many. I think I'm sure it says in like, there's like ads all in magazines and probably tells you how many colors. I'm not sure. You could look it up, or maybe I'll look it up and put it somewhere in here. I'll see what I can do. So there's a ton of colors in the range, so it's very hard for you to not be able to find your shade, and I think that's part of the whole like Fit Me deal. Also, I think the whole Fit Me thing is supposed to be like like, what does the model say in the commercial? It says like, you know, like don't cover me or like don't hide me or something, like fit me. It's not supposed to look like foundation. It's supposed to look like skin, but it's supposed to give you full coverage like a foundation. So yeah. So the bullets on the back of it, you know, I always read those to you. It says natural tones, blend seamlessly and let skin breathe. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree with everything on the back of it. When I first used this foundation, I put it on a little, you know, wedge sponge, and I applied it the way I apply all my other foundations, and instantly I loved it. I loved how, like, easy it kind of just glided on and how simple it was to blend it, and, like it says on the back, seamless. It was pretty seamless. And it gave me a full coverage, which was absolutely everything that I wanted. I have a lot of acne scarring and blemishes, and I try to hide them the best I can. So I always need a full coverage foundation, and sometimes it's hard to find ones that don't make you look cakey. So this didn't make me look cakey, and it was full coverage, and it kind of gave my skin a really dewy, like, glowy look, which was, like, I was, like, amazed, you know, because being that I have to use full coverage foundations and then concealers and then pressed powders, I never have, like, a dewy complexion. It's always kind of, like, matte. And in the spring, I prefer, like, you know, a little bit of a dewy complexion. So I was pretty stoked initially, and then I put my concealer on, or their concealer on, for the line, and then I put the powder on, and it still was dewy. The powder kind of matted a little bit, but not, you know, too much, because at first there was like a little more shine than I'm used to, so the powder kind of helped me out a little bit, because I'm not a fan of like too much shine, too much shine. Like, I like dewy, but like overly dewy it's bad. I'm sorry if you watched my last video. I said that I'm sick. I'm still getting over this cold. I don't know, Scott had this cold for like 3 days, and I've had it for like a week and a half. I don't really understand, but whatever. So, anyway, so after I put the powder on, it kind of dimmed the shine a little bit, but it was still dewy. It still looked really nice. As the day went on, I realized that my complexion was starting to look even more dewy, and like, even more dewy, which made it look really oily. And one thing I really hate is oily skin, because I associate it with like breakouts, So, like, if I eat, like, something that's really oily, like, if I have, like, a pizza, and it's, you know how, like, pizza gets, like, the grease on top of it? Like, the second I finish eating, I don't touch anything. I refuse to touch my face. I don't touch anything. I have to go wash my hands. Because, like, I know that if I don't wash my hands and I just use, like, a napkin and, like, dry my hands off, I'm gonna sit like this, and I'm gonna wake up with, like, 8 pimples in, like, the form of my palm. And it's gonna be gross. So, I hate oil. So I was blotting, and I was touching up with powder, and I was like, alright, like, I don't know, maybe it was just the day. Maybe my skin was really oily that day. Maybe it was a bad skin day. So I tried it again over the next couple days, and I had the same problem. And because it's oily, if I don't touch it up with, like, powder, and I just kind of blot, it just kind of, like, removes the makeup from my face, and by the end of the day, it looks like I'm not wearing any makeup, or, like, I didn't even put any on. So that was a problem for me. And I switched back to, you know, my Revlon Color Stay, and that's what I was using. It's my main squeeze. And, I started to run out of my, you know, my main squeeze, my Revlon, and also I used all my clear complexion. So I was, like, running out of them both, and instead of having to go back and out and replace them both, which would have been, like, $26, because both of them are, like, $13 each, I just started going through my foundation collection, kind of starting to use ones that are still good that I don't use, and I'm just kind of trying to get rid of them. So this got taken back out, and I was like, let me try it again, let me kind of tweak my foundation routine, and tweak the primer that I use, and everything like that. So I started tweaking, using different primers, putting it on different ways to hopefully get a different outcome, and I still didn't. I still got the same outcome. I love how it looks initially, but after a couple hours of wearing it, it starts to look really oily and really bad, and I just have to keep doing touch-ups, and that's really inconvenient when I'm at school. It's even more inconvenient when I'm at work, because I can't run to the back and do touch-ups, and I'm sorry, but if you've ever worked under fluorescent lights, it doesn't matter what foundation you wear when you go in there. You look really good, and then you get into work, and you're like, oh my god, I look like crap. And this, like, intensified the, oh my god, I look like crap factor, like, by 10 in the fluorescent lighting. So, you know, because by the end of my work shift, it looks like I'm not wearing anything, because I keep, like, blotting with napkins and stuff. So it didn't work out too well for me. However, I do have a friend who actually is, she's a trained cosmetologist, and we were sitting in Dunkin' Donuts having a cup of coffee one day, and she was asking me if I've tried it, and she was like, I was like, yeah, I've tried it, and she was like, oh my god, I just got it the other day. She's like, I love it so much. She's like, tell me it doesn't look like airbrushed, and I was like, it does. I was like, but does it make you look really oily after you have it on for like 2 hours or so? And she's like, no, I don't have that problem. And, you know, we're talking about skin types, and I have acne-prone skin, with probably a little more oil in, like, my T-zone area and, like, right here, which is where I tend to see the most shine when I wear it, like, right here on my cheeks. So she doesn't. She has dry skin, dry to normal skin type. So that's probably, we decided, what it is. So if you're somebody with oily skin, acne-prone skin, I wouldn't try it. Not that this broke me out, but it didn't help, you know, the acne look any better, or more concealed, because it was kind of like a shine over it. And you know that when you have acne, like, on your cheeks or something, you're not supposed to use, like, a shimmery blush, because it's kind of, you know, so this gave, like, a shine over the acne, and it wasn't good. So if you have acne prone to oil skin, like, or oily skin, don't try it. You're gonna probably end up having to blot and, you know, touch up the powder and stuff to kind of matte it. But if you have dry to normal skin, I would say give it a try. You might really, really like it. Like I said, my friend absolutely adores it. And she's used to wearing, like, loose mineral foundations. She's a makeup artist at Bare Essentials. So she's used to wearing that, and she just figured she would, you know, give it, you know, the liquid a try. She doesn't really like liquid. She says it's kind of heavy, and she absolutely, absolutely adores it. So I would say give it a try if you have dry to normal skin. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad product. I think it's a great foundation. I just don't think it's meant for my personal skin type, which sucks. But yeah, that's how life goes. However, I do love the concealer. It is a great, full coverage concealer, medium to full coverage concealer, and it blends so perfectly. Like, there it is. Blend. And it's perfect. And I'm running out. I have to go buy myself another tube. And it's with a Dope It applicator. It's like a very kind of, like, very creamy, but not like a thick creamy, like kind of like a loose creamy, more like on a liquid. And it's just really easy to blend. Like right now I actually don't have foundation on today. I literally just have this on where I have scarring and blemishes and like under my eyes. And I have a pressed powder on top to just kind of set it. I didn't feel like doing my makeup today. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing today, is foundation, concealer. So yeah, and the powder is, I would say the powder is really nothing to write home about, but it's not that I don't like the powder or really like the powder. I'm indifferent towards the powder, but it's not their powder, it's just pressed powders in general. I have three. I have the Revlon one, Revlon Color Stay one, an Almay one, and that one, and I use them interchangeably. It's really whatever is in front of me I put on to set my foundation. I have no preference, so you can't really, I guess, take my opinion on that. Okay, so my camera just totally cut me off mid-sentence and I don't remember what I was saying. So anyway, I guess that concludes my review of the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I hope you guys found it helpful. Like I said before, I think definitely give it a try if you have dry to normal skin type. If you have oily or acne prone, I would probably stay away. But yeah, let me know if you tried it and what you thought. You know, if you liked it, if it did the same thing to you that it did to me, I would love to know. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!